Friday, July 12, 2024 will go down in history in Nigeria. It was the day the Supreme Court granted local government financial autonomy in a landmark ruling. The judgment came as a welcome development to many interest groups, most especially the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, a body that has been at the forefront in the agitation for local government. Algon, in its campaign, embarked on many projects, including a weekly half-hour program packaged by News Desk for broadcast on Africa Independent Television (AIT). We are pleased to bring you excerpts from the 2021 program, which paraded the former national president, Kolade Alabi, and the then chief of staff to the president, Malik Igboho, who is now Algon's director general. Others are Mefata Mwazu, George Akume, Femi Gbajabiamila, among others.
For centuries before the advent of British rule, governance in different parts of present-day Nigeria was synonymous with traditional institutions and their rulers. Local administration then generally centered on the traditional ruler who was considered the repository of religious, legislative, executive, and judicial functions. Now, for this reason, even now that the local government administration is fully on course, the traditional rulers' views about the local government administration are considered to be authoritative. Now, let's start by listening to a revered royal father, the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II. The monarch is of the view that many societal problems will be solved if due recognition is given to local government administration in Nigeria. These problems include insecurity and youth restiveness.
Let us be very truthful in this country. Look at this beautiful building. As beautiful as this building is, if the foundation is wrong, the entire building will collapse because the foundation has a problem. In this gathering, the Senate President mentioned the key factor, the collapse of local government. It has completely collapsed because that's the only arm of government that is, number one, the foundation of this country. You don't have any other foundation. We are only building on a castle that has been completely broken down. That is the foundation that will gather the most active age bracket for you in this country. You say we have a local government and several wards. Where do we have the wards being put together? It's under the local government constituency. They are underfunded. You don't even reference them for anything. You don't even care about their administration. Where did we get it wrong in this country? We all have faults, all of us here. If we keep talking every time, we will not get any result. It's getting worse. They are getting more emboldened. They are now very bold and they are ready to face anybody because they are hungry and they are angry. Let us change our strategy. Let us change our style. You leave this age bracket. If there will be a problem, you will give them guns to start to move around. You will never see anybody above our age in our comfort zone here that is really ready to face the music.
As a body, we have sent our proposal to all the critical stakeholders, particularly to the National Assembly, on local government autonomy. And we have also attended a meeting outside Nigeria with our international affiliate as regards the clamor for autonomy. And we are from that school of thought that believe in decentralization and devolution of power to the local government. So if we have autonomy, I can tell you for free that 75% of problem in this country will be solved. Government should be administered from the local government. If the foundation is rot, then there will be a problem. So we have to make the foundation right. In making the foundation right, more power should be given to the local government.
Algon generally, the purpose is to aggregate the actions and inactions of our colleagues across the country in areas of national development, ranging from healthcare to agriculture, social services, infrastructure, and all of that. And what we do here is to aggregate these needs and see how best we can tackle them. In the last 2+ years, of course, his first term ended in March, where he was re-elected again in General Assembly. And he has tried to refocus Algon. And this time around, he's building an agenda. He's building his agenda, rather, on ensuring that we become more people-oriented in our programs and ensure that we build synergy with the states and the federal government. Over the years, what you find out that most local governments are disconnected from programs of their states and programs of the federal government. As I speak to you today, he's the first president of Algon that has been connected to almost all programs of the federal government, and has advised all his NEC members who, by their position, you cannot be a NEC member if you are not chairman of Algon in your state, because all chairmen cannot come here. The procedure is simple. The states, based on their peculiar circumstance, elect a chairman amongst them. It is that person that is elected that becomes a member of NEC. And he has continued to encourage them that there is need for them to connect properly, open their ears to programs, to projects of their state so that they can tap and key in. For instance, there are not very many local governments that have the capacity to do programs on welfare and empowerment. So that is the area where he has tried to ensure that there's more synergy. We have tried to refocus the office to also be more oriented. And you know, without being economical with the truth, that we have had challenges in the past with the way Algon has handled its affairs, particularly its financial affairs. A lot of our colleagues across the country are not happy that we are centrally, or Algon was centrally awarding contracts. And one of the first policies of his administration was to say, no, we are not a contract awarding establishment. We can handle consultants to the extent that they bring in valued partners. We're looking at DFID and all of that. Partners who will help in capacity building, infrastructural development. And so that is the area we're looking at, not awarding contracts to do A or do B or do C, no.
The fact that in the country, the prices of agricultural produce and other essential commodities keep on rising by the day. Why? We are always been given one major reason as cost of transportation. Why is the cost of transportation so high? The transporters will always tell you that multiple roadblocks along the highways which enable them to convey these items or products to the marketplaces. That is one major reason. And the other reason is, whenever there is a road accident involving members of this trade, they end up losing all their wares due to lack of insurance cover to their wares. And we all know His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has one thing always in mind, that is to bring SOCO to the people at the grassroots. As such, Algon decided to key into this mindset of finding SOCO to the people at the grassroots. That is why the issue of finding a way to do away with multiple taxations along the way, and then finding a way to bring SOCO in case of accident to the people in distress. Then major critical stakeholders in the transport sector decided to join hands with Algon and work out how we can do away with these two major obstacles to trade in agricultural produce and other essential commodities in the country.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, George Akume, was at that time the Nigeria's Minister for Special Duties, while Femi Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff to the Nigerian President, was then Speaker, House of Representatives.
It is therefore apposite to state that the federal government is in full support of the two projects known as the National Anti-Multiple Taxation Scheme, NAM Tax, and the National Transit Insurance Scheme, NATIS, which have been established by Nigerian local governments and area council and are being coordinated by Association of Local Governments of Nigeria National Headquarters and her partners.
The local government administrations in Nigeria are the closest to the people. They should be responsible for making decisions and providing services that ensure the quality of life for the Nigerian people. Until we fix local government administration in Nigeria, we will not be able to fully deliver on the promise of democratic governance in a way that allows us to achieve our country's full potential. I realized that the reason why the local government administration is not functioning is not because the local government councils or chairmen or councillors don't want to work. No, but because they have been hampered structurally. I am aware that many of these things that are your responsibility have been made difficult. Do you know why? I know why. But we end up suffering for it. But it has nothing to do with you. And that is why I say this time around, make this, your resolutions, historic. I assure you all that the 9th House of Representatives will not waver from our commitment to take whatever legislative actions are necessary to achieve the highest ambitions we have for Nigeria. I assure you also that we are ready to work with the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, and with all the stakeholders to fix local government administration in Nigeria once and for all time.
Clearview News Desk congratulates Algon for this success as remain its dependable ally. Imefon Okon reporting for Clearview News.